my fellow bookish people. Hello, my fellow authorish people, I guess, writerish people. I'm here to do the NaNoWriMo Tag, which, if you don't know, we're in the month of November, which is National Novel Writing Month, where if you go to nanowrimo.org, you can sign up for free and set yourself the challenge of writing a novel, or at least 50,000 words towards a novel. It's probably more of a novella, in the month of November. So yes, you got 31 days. You got to pump out those words. It's 1,667 words a day at the minimum, sort of keep yourself on track if you're that kind of a writer. Or I guess you could write 1,000 words at the beginning of the month and then write the other 49,000 at the very last day if you're that kind of writer. Not me. I am the slow and steady wins the race kind of tortoise kind of writer myself. So, in the midst of all this, in the midst of me grinding away, Steve Donoghue was kind enough to tag me with this tag, and I'll put a link down below to his version of this tag. Steve and I, as well as a bunch of other writers, wannabe writers like myself, are in a Voxer group and are giving each other encouragements. And Steve's indulging us in his obsession with cats. He's really obsessed with cats for some reason. Anyways, he picked out this tag. It's the Kristina Horner's tag. I'll put her link down to her original tag down below. And let's get on to the questions because I don't have much time. I think I've got my words for the day, so that's why I can actually do this video. The questions. How many times have you done NaNoWriMo? Including this one, I have done it 8 times. How did you first find out about NaNoWriMo? I believe it was via the I Should Be Writing podcast by Mur Lafferty. Mur Lafferty is a podcaster who has been a podcaster for years and years, like, you know, almost like at the start of the century kind of thing. She's a Hugo award-winning and nominated author. Yeah, it's probably from her website that I did. And I'll put a link down below to her podcast. She's actually doing kind of little NaNoWriMo kind of stuff during the months, and so you can kind of hear her encouragements. A lot of self-care for this month, I guess, for a lot of us delicates who are not used to writing all the time. What was the name of the first novel you attempted with Nano? The first one I actually named was the second one, which I named the Wacky Urban Fantasy Novel, which was, I guess, a working title, and I guess it didn't work out. Even though I got 68,000 words or such from it, but it never panned out. But that's a theme that will continue along in this. Give us a 1-sentence summary of what you're writing this year. I am writing this year sort of I guess it's a dystopian. It's more kind of a weird fantasy novel set in the 80s where Alec and a friend go into into the changed world to try and rescue his father. That's my best shot at a 1-sentence summary, which we'll put up there's probably a couple of semicolons in there. Number 5, what is the best writing advice you've ever been given? And I think that can be summed up with, you've got to get behind the mule in the morning and plow. Yeah, that's probably the best advice that I've gotten. And I'll put a link down below so you know where my inspiration, my sunny inspirational music comes from. Number 6, did you ever take a year off from Nano? And why? Well, my very, very first attempt, at least according to the Nano website, was back in 2011. And I got a total of 1,200 something words, which I'm sure is not an uncommon experience. And so I guess I took a year off, and then starting in 2012, I've been doing Nano and at least getting the 50,000 words, if not more from it. I almost did not do it this year. I basically kind of, after my last Nano last year, I was sort of discouraged. I mean, I had gotten over 50,000 words, but I hadn't really felt like I had anything useful. It is because of Steve Donoghue and his kind of urgings to get people to kind of do a Preptober to kind of plan out your novel, that I said, okay, well, I'll try that. I'll try preparing my way to start off with, and do that to see if I can actually then go on and get a better manuscript at the end that I feel like I could work with. Funnily enough, Steve himself did all his prep, and then at the last moment changed his mind and just done something else. Totally a thing of teach one thing, do another thing, Steve. But I am grateful. I am grateful for that, because I probably wouldn't be doing it this year if it wasn't for Steve's encouragement over this last year. He's done a lot of great kind of hashtag AuthorTube encouragement videos of why you should write and why you should write now. So I'll probably, yet again, I'll put more links to that down below. Link heavy in my description box. It's always a treasure trove. Always takes me so much time to do. Number 7, what is your biggest inspiration when figuring out what to write? For me, I think I get an image or a scene, or actually in this case, it was just sort of a feeling. It was like a young guy goes to save his father. And it was just sort of that idea and that kind of feeling in myself that, and everything else kind of spiraled out from there. Not that I used the snowflake method, but that was basically, I had that, and then everything else, I came up from that. Number 8, read the first sentence of one of your novels. And since I can't actually bear to actually read, any of my old manuscripts, I'll read the one from this year, which is, he was enfolded like a strong hug in the deep voice. Oh man, it's a terrible first sentence. He was enfolded like a strong hug in the deep voice crooning, or maybe it was the memory. And you can see I've already started editing. Oh, and also a reminder, I had realized I'm like 7 days into Nano, and I hadn't actually backed up what I'd written so far, and I'm over 14,000 words now, and I hadn't actually backed it up. It's all on this phone here, and I could fall down or I could drop it in water and I would have lost it all. So public service announcement to all my fellow nanos out there, back up every day. So, even if the worst comes to worst and you lose 1 day of writing, it's just 1 day. Number 9 is, why do you love writing? I love the making. I love making a story. I love how they kind of, as you're writing, they kind of elaborate. It's like telling a great lie or a tall tale. But hopefully, as you're writing, you start to believe the lie. You believe the tale. This actually is happening. You get that emotional hook to it. And yeah, you get that way. At least I get that way until suddenly I don't. And that's the thing I'm struggling with. So that is the NaNoWriMo tag. Definitely check out Steve Donoghue's version of this video. Mark Richardson, another fellow Voxer, has also done it. Perhaps by the time I actually get around to uploading this, others will have done it. Also check out James Holder. He's done a version of it. And AlexBlack, who is a model to all NaNoWriMo people. She filmed this video before NaNoWriMo started. Prepared. We didn't do this. This should have been a part of Preptober, is film a bunch of videos to just be able to drop during this month so you can focus on the writing. But no, I didn't think of that. More videos later.